successive appearance in the number 8 shirt, and another 19-year-old Martin Foyle as substitute. Some relatively unfamiliar names in the Manchester City lineup. Alex Williams gets his chance to establish himself in goal now that Joe Corrigan is heading for the United States. Williams has made a dozen previous appearances, but Jeff Lomax in the number 3 shirt is making his first team debut. And City bring back to the Dell a couple of former Saints. Graham Baker started his career here as an apprentice and moved to Main Road last summer. Yugoslav defender Ivan Golak, who had 4 years with Southampton, is now on a month's contract in Manchester. And as City won the toss and changed ends, Southampton in the red and white shirts kick off. Manchester City all in blue. Ivan Golak, Nicky Reed, Kevin Bond, Lomax, Stewart to Baker, Reeves, Armstrong heads away as far as Caton only. Man in charge today comes from Great Bookham in Surrey, Mr. Ray Lewis. Nice mild afternoon with a real feeling of spring in the air. Awkward one for Lomax, and he coped with it very well. Alex Williams, the goalkeeper. Big lad, but very agile. Good jump by Wright above cross. Holmes hit the referee. Baker. And Stewart didn't intend that at all. Referee, I think, still feeling a little bit dazed and has indicated to the bench that he'd like some treatment. He hasn't done his nose any good. Took the clearance full in the face. Mr. Lewis is okay to continue. Williams with the throw-in. Golak running across Moran and steering it back wide of Williams, wide of the goal, out for a corner. So it'll be Nick Holmes to swing it in with the left foot. Now he's played it short to Williams. And the header out by Reed, but only to Williams again. Far post this time. And in! And Moran peels away, raising his fist in celebration. And there was a fatal hesitation in that 6-yard area, and Alex Williams was mortified. Danny Williams all smiles because it was his nod on from this cross by Williams. Wallace is not across, and Moran gets the touch. Mills, Baker. Touched by Williams. Dangerous play by Moran. Power let it run, and it didn't reach Reeves because of a smart interception by Wright. Now it's Wallace. And he's gone past Caton and crossed well, and Bond met it. Mills! Nick Mills, who scored his first goal for Southampton last month, had a chance to add another one there. Pull back by Wallace, clearance by Bond, and Mills steaming in on it, but over the top. Nicol adjudged to have held down cross, and so it's a Manchester City free kick. It'll be Kevin Bond with the free kick. And Caton in with a free header and a great save by Shilton. but a well-worked move which Southampton bought absolutely. Cross running in, taking all the defenders with him, and Caton free behind them, and it needed a good save from Shilton. Some very naive defending by Southampton. Shilton again, punch, there was a foul, free kick. Well, Peter Shilton's form has certainly justified his £325,000 transfer fee last summer. Could so easily have been the equaliser there for Tommy Caton. Wallace. A neat bit of trickery. Good first-time touch from Moran, but no foul on Baird, although the player looked and the crowd appealed. Caton. Williams to Wallace. Well, that was a good bit of defending by the 18-year-old newcomer to the City side, Jeff Lomax. Wasn't fooled by Danny Wallace's dancing feet. And Lomax has shown a few signs of nerves in this testing opening period for him. Nicola header, and right. Holmes, I think, got the final touch, but another awful mess in the 6-yard area for Manchester City. Well, it's Baird who is the scorer. And once again, Manchester City beaten in the air, and the ball bobbing around, and the final touch, Ian Baird. Baird again bearing down on Caton. Mills. Moran. Baird. No, the whistle had gone for offside. So Ian Baird denied 2 goals in a minute, but pleased enough, I'm sure, to have scored his second first-team goal for Southampton in only his 5th appearance. Youngster who was first spotted playing Sunday morning football with manager Laurie McMenamin's younger son. Not on by Baird, gives Moran a chance, and that's the best of Alex Williams. He hasn't looked at his best when there's been trouble in the 6-yard area, but here where courage and a good reflex was required, he certainly showed it. Fine save. Williams again, this time a safe catch. Wallace. That's another good break by Wallace. And a good ball by Williams, bringing in Holmes, and now Baird. Kicked out by Bond. Holmes. Not on by Wright. Clearance comes to Mills, and that was so nearly deflected in, out for a corner. But Mills, once again, close to a goal, and I think this time he was on target. Header from Baker, gave him his chance, and it was Baker who deflected it for the corner. Wallace to Holmes. Mills again, this time cleared by Reed. Armstrong. Mills. Header away by Reed. It's come to Armstrong, blocked by Caton. It's come to Holmes, run off it by Tuart, but not a foul, says the referee. Crowd thought it was. Mr. Lewis took a look and decided not. Bond. Bad ball. Good break by Armstrong, and now there's trouble for Manchester City again. Armstrong, Moran, and that's 3-0. Moran's goal, made for him by David Armstrong. This is beginning to look like a deluge. Bond's clearance was the first error, and from then on, Manchester City were in trouble. Some very good work by Armstrong, beating 3 men, and then laying over the cross. The final touch from Steve Moran. Manchester City still with only 10 men on the field. And Golak being helped round the touchline behind the Southampton goal. Looks as though that may be the end of his match. Andy May being brought into the match now. May, who is a defender, although he's also deputised in midfield this season. Bond to Tuart. And a few little clashes and tussles between the two number 7s, Nick Holmes and Dennis Tuart. Bond. Agboola above cross. Bond again with the header. Agboola for Southampton. Moran was the only Saints player in the City half, and he may get a goal out of it too. That's his hat-trick. And another defensive error by Manchester City, punished quite lethally, and Steve Moran completes his hat-trick just before half-time. What a happy young man. He was the only Southampton player in the Manchester City half as Agboola played that long ball, and he really shouldn't have been allowed to get in, but that was an awful header, and Moran took full advantage. Referee has already given us 1 minute of additional time in this first half. And I imagine that the two managers have already prepared rather different dressing room speeches for the interview. There's the half-time whistle. A very happy first half for Southampton, and in particular for Steve Moran. Alex Williams not to blame for all 4 goals by any means, but the massive authority of Joe Corrigan clearly missed in the 6-yard area. When Southampton have raided and City have made mistakes, the mistakes have been lethally punished. Steve Moran getting 3 and Ian Baird the other, to give Southampton the best possible looking half-time scoreline. Southampton 4, Manchester City 0. Tony Book, and on his right as we look at it, manager John Benson, 2 very disturbed men. The side hasn't won since Benson took over. So at 4-0 to Southampton, Manchester City begin the second half attacking the goal to our right. Wallace on the ball. A ground this full of horrors for Manchester City. They rarely do well here. They've in fact only had one win in their last 14 visits. And now in 5.5 games here, they've conceded a total of 18 goals. Stewart. Armstrong, Lomax to Baker. Bond. Baird didn't entirely approve, but no more did Bond than the referee. Baker. It's a giveaway ball. Nicol. Giving it back. Caton. Bond. Foul by Cross on right. Armstrong. That's Power to Baker. Power making one of those surging runs of his down the left side. Familiar feature of Manchester City's play over the years. Cross's header. Baker takes it away from Steve Williams. Ball hits the referee's heel. But now Reeves. And that's 4-1. Reeves pivoting on the ball. And Shilton's dash from his line coming too late. So Kevin Reeves puts it away with a bit of style. Crosses nod down. Holmes' clearance. And then Steve Williams rather too easily robbed by Baker. And when the ball is played in by Power, that's a good bit of work by Reeves and very well finished. Nicol. Holmes. Agbula, Moran, flicked out where there's a bit of room for Holmes to cross, and Caton got it away, but now Armstrong to Mills and back again. Wallace, can he get round Lomax? It's crossed, and it's falling for Holmes to shoot, and he drove it a little bit too close to himself into the ground, and in the end it wasn't a difficult catch for Alex Williams. Wallace. And Wallace checks to see that the linesman's flag was down and takes on Lomax, pulls back the cross, and it was just a yard too far in front of Baird. Mills was in there too, but Baker put it out for the corner kick. Once again, Wallace, it's a throw-in, but Wallace causing trouble for the City defence. Holmes cross. Moran's header, and he was close there to his 4th goal. Steve Moran, who has already scored his first hat-trick in senior football, and indeed the first for Southampton since Phil Boyer got one against Bristol City nearly 3 years ago. Manchester City fans have had a long journey and no real reason for optimism. Their team's last away win was at Tottenham more than 6 months ago. May. Bond. Now down by Cross. And Agbula kicks the ball upfield towards Baird. Caton, Baird in, challenging him. Still Baird. And spreading it out for Moran. Wallace is onside. And has missed a goal by a couple of inches. I think he may even have scraped the post. Danny Wallace given the opportunity there by a good ball from Moran, played first time shot over Alex Williams, think it may just have scraped the post. Stewart. May. Reed. Will Moran get that? Yes, he does. And he's on for another one here. And that's another fine save by Alex Williams. Nobody can fault this big lad for his reflexes. It's the second time now that he's been out fast to thwart Steve Moran. And he did terribly well again there. But for those reflexes, Moran would have had 5 goals this afternoon. Off Nicol. Wallace. Kicked away by May, straight to Holmes. Over the top of Stewart. The referee has given a foul by Armstrong on Stewart. And there's the final whistle. A convincing victory for Southampton by 4 goals to 1. Man of the match, undoubtedly Steve Moran, who'd completed his hat-trick by half-time, will be going off now to collect the ball, and knowing that but for some really fine saves by Alex Williams, he could actually have had 6. He's asking the referee for the ball, has collected it, and there's a happy young man.